fan base. I assume you know what this video is going to be about if you read the title. Guys, I freaking appreciate this. Thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. It's an insane milestone for me. This video is only partially scripted because I really wanted it to sound as genuine as it could. So for these milestones, aside from another video that I'm working on, I would like to try to make top lists for my top anime of all time. Mostly because I get a ton of questions. Yo, Nux, what's your top 10, 20, 30, 50 anime of all time? And I did do one of these at 10k subs, but it got copyrighted like a dozen times since then, so I gave up on it, and I don't think you can still see it in most countries. I'm also always hesitant to say what my favorite anime is because it always changes. In fact, this one's very different than my 10k top list. A little bit because I'm a lot more comfortable talking to you guys honestly, and, you know, I don't give a flying rat's tuchus what people think about my personal taste. Since 10k subs, when I was really uptight about being official YouTuber guy, I totally gave up on that, and I realized that trying to be official just makes me less me. So, I'm sure you've noticed recently, my content has been a lot of really deep analysis and a lot of really random shit posting, and honestly, I'm really happy with that mix, and I hope you are too, but I feel like I can finally be completely myself at all times, and I'm really happy to have reached that point, and that's my major advice for anyone trying to be a YouTuber now. You gotta be you. That's the most important thing on YouTube, even though it really doesn't seem that way. Which is why I am considering, you know, doing random streams at random times whenever I get a break, because I am pretty busy aside from the whole YouTube grind, which is pretty insane, by the way. And I'll do the mushy thank you after the top 10. Let's start off, and I would like to let you know before I get into the actual details, I'm not including series that I like mostly for their manga. So no One Piece, no Naruto, no Berserk, among others, because the manga for these series are amazing and the anime really does not live up to the manga. If you haven't read the manga to these series, I highly recommend it, especially One Piece and Berserk. One Piece because the anime betrays how good the manga is written, and Berserk because there is no anime at a certain point, and that CG monster doesn't really compare. If you skip all the filler arcs in Naruto, you know, you can actually get away with the anime, but the other two not so much. Another reason why I'm hesitant to do a top 10 anime list, and I always was, is because I like a lot more than 10 anime really much. So, I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of people in the comments, but Nux, where's Death Note? How could you forget Death Note? Well, you know, Death Note might be number 11. Death Note isn't number 11. But you get the idea. I do like Death Note, but it's not in the top 10. This is personal preference, and it's not what's objectively better. And as a testament to that, I believe the most philosophically deep anime ever, I think, is Shinsekai Yori. And it ain't here because I like 10 anime more. It's not all just what's deep or what's funny. As I've stated in the past, everyone's different, and you're allowed to like whatever you want. And despite all that, I know that you badass sarcastic memers in the fan base will still bug the hell out of me about my choices, but you got me used to it. Thanks, guys. I've been joking around on Twitter how you guys are taking over, and I'm only half sarcastic about all that stuff, but don't worry, I will get you back eventually. And that's another thing, by the way, offhand, this is not in my bullet points for my script at all, but I love that too. I love the back and forth between us. Recently, we've become an awesome community, and I'm so happy with how things are turning out, guys. You have no idea. I'm like gushing over my mic right now with no script, just because I freaking appreciate you guys so goddamn much. And this is a first for me because I pretty much always have a script, you know, not for like live streams or podcasts or whatever, but a lot of work goes into my videos, and I really thank all of you for sticking around through them. Even though a lot of it, especially because it's such a random mix, is some of the weirdest shiz you'll find on the tube. But let's get into my top 10. Number 10 is Gurren Lagann. So, I always liked this anime. It was always in my top 20, and honestly, it's now here in my top 10 because I've been thinking about it recently. I did a whole hour discussion about it recently on the Rant Cafe with Anime Uproar and Best Guy Ever, and honestly, Best Guy Ever did the best review ever on the best anime ever on Gurren Lagann. So there's nothing really I can add to his awesomeness. I mean, I did a video on it a couple weeks ago, and I really was happy with my video turned out, and a lot of you guys in the comments said, yo, go watch Best Guy Ever's review. It's only like 48 minutes long. It's 48 minutes well spent dissecting the philosophy of Gurren Lagann, and it's an amazing series. Definitely deserving of my number 10 anime of all time. My number 9 is Spice and Wolf, and that's because it's firstly, my favorite romance anime of all time, and secondly, because Hollow from Spice and Wolf is probably my favorite female anime character of all time. So, despite the character dynamic between the main two characters being unbelievable, it was extremely heartwarming, with the second season even better than the first, arguably, with an intrinsic sadness because of who this main female character is. I don't really want to spoil because I want you to get the full effects if you haven't seen it already, but it's that intrinsic sadness in this incredible relationship that definitely put this as my 9th favorite anime of all time. And it hasn't really moved much from that spot, I think, since my top 30 that I released at my 10K special. Number 8 is One Punch Man, and this moved up the ranks a little bit, and that's because I recently was looking into One Punch Man a lot, partially because of my Saitama would beat Goku thing with Seth the Programmer, and basically, I ended up really delving into Saitama's philosophy, as well as the philosophy of a lot of his enemies, and the first time I watched this anime, I laughed through it, and the second time, my breath was caught. It's an incredible series, and it's one of those hype monsters that deserved the hype in my opinion, but not necessarily purely the way it was hyped. I would like to do many videos to cover this series in the future, but you know, time is a thing, and I unfortunately don't have enough of it. Number 7 is Hunter x Hunter. I'm sure a lot of you are not surprised that it's on the list at all. In fact, you're probably surprised that it's number 7 instead of like number 3. But despite me loving Hunter x Hunter, and loving every arc of Hunter x Hunter, the York New arc was incredible, the Chimera Ant arc was breathtaking, and the Chairman Association arc thing was really great too. But as far as early Hunter x Hunter, and all the good it had, and it had a lot of good, I personally thought the Chunin exams from Naruto were better, or at least I liked them more. There's a lot of good in Hunter x Hunter, and number 7 is a high spot on the list. As far as villains, it's one of my favorite shonens for incredible villains, time and time again. Chrollo, Hisoka, and Meruem, each being one of my top shonen villains of all time. But in the protagonist department, I don't particularly love Gon, and Yu Yu Hakusho, in my opinion, did a much better job with main good guys, meaning that I loved all 4 of the main good guys incredibly much. Hunter x Hunter's number 7. Number 7's a really good spot. Let's move on. Number 6 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. For me, these two always seem to be really close to each other in rank, fighting back and forth for what's better, and I preferred Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The overarching plot in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is freaking unbelievable, and all the little pieces that are finally clicked together are amazing. The characters are great, the story progresses, the adventure is amazing, everyone loves it. Let's move on. Number 5, Code Geass. What? Number 5? Yeah, Code Geass was my favorite anime of all time for a long time. And a lot of that is because it's really a gateway anime for me. I know that sounds weird because everyone gets introduced to anime with Naruto and Pokemon and whatever. And while I did watch Pokemon as a kid, I didn't even know it was anime, same with Yu-Gi-Oh! Naruto was the first anime that I watched that I knew was anime. I was down for a story that was long, that was going, and then I watched Bleach. So I guess I would say Naruto is more of a gateway anime than Code Geass, but I was really on the edge. I wasn't watching any short anime, I had no interest, and the first one recommended to me was Code Geass by one of the chats on the sides of one of the illegal pirate sites, and sure thing, didn't even know how to pronounce it. I watched it and I fell in love with anime. Code Geass held a really tough place in my heart as far as anime goes for a really long time. I rewatched it several times. I love Code Geass to pieces, and I don't know how it's number 5 on my list. I'm looking at my list right now, I'm like, wait a second, number 5? I love Code Geass, but we'll leave it number 5 just because that's how I put it, and now my emotions about it are welling up, and let's move on. Number 4 is Gintama, and it's a shame no one watches Gintama, even though Gintama's ending really soon. I think they're in their final arc, and it's incredible. The characters are incredible. People think there are filler episodes, but they don't realize none of it's filler except for like the first few episodes. Seriously, the first few episodes are a disaster compared to the grand awesomeness of what's to come. Comedy arcs and references are unmatched in the anime industry, hands down, no question. And the thrilling dramatic arcs are also hands down some of the best shonen arcs of all time. The characters are freaking unbelievable, and I can relate to like every single one of them, with the main character probably being my favorite character of all time. It's a shame so many people do not watch Gintama, and it's a shame it's ending with no reputation in the West. So fanbase, if you haven't watched it already, check out Gintama. I'm sorry the first few episodes aren't so good, but you won't regret it. It's an incredible series. And remember this, the main character is unmatched as far as my favorite anime character. I mean, he doesn't have any competition at all. Like, none. Let's move on to number 3, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So this is a bizarre entry so high on my list, I think. But there's something about JoJo's that I freaking love, and I intend to actually do several analysis videos on JoJo's. The fact that every season kinda resets from the last one with a new protagonist, despite the other events happening and being important, is something incredible I haven't really seen. And it's something that helps me keep getting into the anime and keep getting more excited by events that are taking place. For example, part 1 was about 2 bros fighting, and it wasn't that good, to be honest. Shh! Part 2, the world was in trouble. Part 3, the world was in trouble. Part 4, a city was in trouble. And yet the same dramatic effect was felt by every single one of these parts. JoJo's is an amazing series that's definitely not for everyone, in that, I mean, many people don't like JoJo's, but if you can actually get into it and start feeling its groove, you will not want to let it go. I freaking love JoJo's. It's just one of the most fun anime I've watched and experienced. The characters are all amazing, and I'll say it again, it has the best battles of any anime ever, starting from part 3. Stand battles are pretty much the best of battle shonen fights, aside from possibly Nen and Hunter x Hunter. That's debatable, but the beauty of these fights are every single stand has an extremely detailed power, somehow based on the stand user's personality, and therefore it's extremely hard to figure out what that power is. Now, once you know what the power is, you'll know how to take down that stand. So one weak stand with an unknown power can easily take down 4 good guys, each with powerful stands, but their powers are actually revealed. That's how the series works, and therefore there is almost no plot armor for good guys or for bad guys. You have an idiot with a powerful stand, and he ain't much of a threat. You have a genius with a crap stand, and that guy becomes the greatest threat in the series. Number 2 is Fate Zero. After thinking about it a lot, Fate Zero stays in my number 2 spot of all time because of the ideology every single master and every single servant possesses, and how they're pitted against each other in this massive battle. The message taught by the end of the series is there is no correct ideology. Every single one has its flaws, but also has its virtues. Fate Zero is one of the best animated and best written strategy battle royales in anime and of any media ever, and still, if you think that's why it's good, you're missing the point. There is so much in this show that people miss just because of how amazing the tactics and fights are, as crazy as that seems. And my number 1 favorite anime of all time, I'm a little embarrassed to tell you guys, oh my god, is Fairy Tail. The way the character interactions work in Fairy Tail is truly unbelievable, and I felt like part of the family and part of the Fairy Tail Guild. Okay, I'm kidding. I didn't need to see your face to say, you should have seen your face. No, my favorite anime is not Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail has its good stuff, I guess, but okay, fine. Sorry if I scared you. I apologize. That was on me. I couldn't resist. It's not even on my script. I just threw that in here randomly. Okay, fine, whatever. Anyway, my number 1 favorite anime of all time, and you guys are gonna think I'm kidding again, is Digimon Tamers. So, no one talks about Digimon Tamers, probably because Digimon is like a kid's show who likes Digimon. But, Digimon Tamers, despite it not even being on my last list because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna include a kid's show, it's just here for nostalgia. And yeah, in a way it's here for nostalgia, and in a way I love the crap out of this anime. I love Digimon Tamers because it pulls off, in a kid fashion, things that the most masterful of stories written for adults failed at. Believe it or not, I actually recommend this series for you to check out if you don't mind sitting through the kid cringe. There's not that much kid cringe. I apologize if I scared you. Aside from the characters being likable, the threats being genuine, and the surprisingly deep philosophy behind the actions of every single character, and there are many sides looking at the same situation, Digimon Tamers is my favorite anime of all time. Now I get to pat myself on the back because good, Nux, you're a different anime YouTuber. Good, you can't be normal with normal opinions. Yes, thank you very much. But that's my honest top 10 favorite anime of all time. And it will probably change as time goes on because at the start of every single year, my top 10 is somehow different. Last year, Code Geass was my number 1 anime of all time, as just an example, but fan base, I really love all of you so much and appreciate all the support you gave me to help me get to 100,000 subscribers and hopefully more. I love the community we've been building. I don't know if it's the weird mix of analysis and satire videos that I do, but you guys are really unbelievable. And I hate to say it, but, maybe I'm just tooting my own horn, but my community, no, our community, is totally, in my opinion, one of the best YouTube communities on YouTube. I mean, PewDiePie's is great, Pyrocynicals is fine, Jax Films is pretty good, but in all honesty, I do not see almost anyone with a community like us. Maybe, again, I'm very biased, but a lot of you guys tell me that's what you think too, and it's really cool to hear. As you know, I really try to read my comments, hearting and replying to as many of them as I can. I love the memes you guys post below. I love every time I see your praise, and I love every time I see you sarcastically memeing insults at me. Yes, I love all that. I love how I started the weekly-ish honest description series, incorporating your awesomeness into my videos, because I'm really proud to say that I feel like we kind of work together to make the content I crank out. Without you, obviously, I would not be making any content at all, and I therefore appreciate all that you've done. And I credit all of us for hitting 100,000 subscribers. I am super grateful. In case you haven't noticed, the last month, I've kind of been working my ass off to upload as frequently as I've been. Because if you look at, let's say, Giguk, he's mentioned many times on Twitter that he works very hard. And I'm not here to doubt that or anything, but all my videos are scripted, as you know, and a lot of them take quite a while to write. Both the honest descriptions and the analyses take a lot of work. Aside from that, I try to upload like 3 times a week these days. I'm going to try to aim for Fridays, Sundays, and either Tuesdays or Wednesdays to try to make it more of a schedule instead of whenever I get a video finished and just throw it out. Also, like Giguk, my content is fully edited stuff. Not that I edit everything, but he doesn't edit anything of his own either. Now, I'm not trying to say that I work 3 times as hard as he does on my channel, because obviously there's no way to know what he does in his day. But everything I do on my channel is aside from the part-time stuff and the schooling that I do. Obviously, a channel with less than 100,000 subs cannot exactly support me, but I would like to keep uploading at this pace because I love hearing the feedback from you guys. So I guess now is a good time to finally make a Patreon. I mean, I kind of made one a while ago, but never really announced it because I felt like not fair to ask you guys to pay for a YouTube guy who's not really fully invested, and it's not like I'm going to be doing YouTube completely full-time, but I would like to dedicate more time to it. So link to my Patreon in the description. I'd love and appreciate if you could donate monthly or something. And even though I don't have worked out prizes for different amounts you pay yet, in the meantime, I'm gonna try to have a Discord server for everyone donating $1 or more, where we could chat about anime recommendations, theories, video guides you'd like me to make, or basically anything, as well as playing games with you guys and nonchalant streaming, I don't know. And anyone who donates, let's say $10 or more, I can give a shout out at the end of my videos. If you have ideas for better awards for larger donors, please let me know, but 100k subs isn't exactly a great living for the work I put into it at this point, as any YouTuber will tell you, and I'd really love to see it flourish. I still really love and respect all of you guys, even if you don't donate, obviously. It's just extremely appreciated and a huge help. Every YouTuber by every milestone does the "I love you guys" shtick. I can't do it without you. And sometimes I find it tacky as well, but, you know, it's so freaking true. I really love the support you guys give me because I'd be nothing without it, and really hope to keep growing. I love every silent viewer, as well as every commenter, as well as everyone that bombards me with your famous sarcastic memes on Twitter. I appreciate all the fan art you guys send me, or the fam art. Yeah, I'm freaking hilarious. But aside from all the Lord Twigo meme merch, I'm proud to announce normal Nux Taku merch. What? Who'd have ever thunk that was possible? That was actually pretty hilarious. I didn't realize what a good joke that was. I said normal and Nux Taku so close to each other. That never happened before. Anyway, link to the merch also in the description. I'm happy to hear anything you guys want from me, even if it's as far as streaming on YouTube or stupid questions like, "Yo, Nux, name 5 characters more useless than Sakura," because I got comments like that, and fam, we all know that's a really hard video to make. Let the memeing competition between us continue, fan base, and I'd like to end off this video to show my true appreciation with a face reveal. Kind of been holding back on that because of real life stuff mostly, but it's been a while, and I really love you guys, and I really appreciate the memeing back and forth. Let's do this.
Hey, fanbase! Thank you so much for sticking with me all the way here. Now, I know this is a little embarrassing, considering, I've never really shown my face on camera, And I would totally never sarcastically meme at you guys, even though you guys always just meme at me, like that would never happen. I would never think of that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for sticking with me all the way here again. There's links below in the description, and as always, I will see you beautiful sons of guns again next time. Stay weird, fam!